I'm speaking about mastery today, and I think we just saw a demonstration of it. Thank you. So as we pursue our dreams, we can become masters of that which we are seeking to manifest in our lives. And the truth is, if you think about your life, you will notice that there are masters everywhere. And the definition of a master is someone whose work serves as an ideal. And so I want to kind of analyze mastery, what a master is, what does it take to establish mastery in our lives. And I think about some of the people who are masters, and they're not people that are sitting up high on a mountain or off in a cave meditating somewhere. Sometimes we have that image of a master, right? I think my Pilates teacher is a master. She's so good at what she does. Her body is perfect, and she's able to just fine-tune every little movement when I watch her. My yoga teacher is a master. He shows up on the mat every single day. We do the same thing over and over again, but there's that mastery. Erin is a master in the way she brings all of this music together. David Loy and Olivia and John, 4 Stories High, we're surrounded by masters. Nick is a master of sound. I mean, we never have an issue with sound, and it's always effortless, and it's not easy to do that. That's what a master does. A master makes something seem very simple and easy, and the truth is, there's a lot of time and effort and energy that went into creating that. So who are some of the masters in your life? I mean, think about it for a sec, you know. Is it your doctor? Is it your lawyer? Is it, you know, we can, and it isn't like limited to like creativity or to our vocation. We can be master parents, yeah? Master grandmother, master friend. You know, it's about showing up and being willing to be in that. So I've been reflecting on mastery, and I'm thinking, okay, so what are some of the qualities that we need to have to manifest that in our lives? And I think the first thing that in order to achieve mastery in anything is we need to love what we do. Yeah? I mean, you got to love what you do, otherwise what's the point in even beginning? And secondly is to commit to your craft, even when it's like not maybe so much fun, or maybe when you don't feel like you know what you're doing or you don't see any progress. And the third is to practice, 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 doing the same thing over and over again, knowing that you're learning, that you're integrating and moving it into your life. And then finally, and not least of all, is to have fun. Because enjoyment and being open to spirit and to play and to laughter is, I think, how the Holy Spirit enters our life, is when we're willing to have fun with the different experiences that we have. So I just finished reading a book by George Leonard, remember him? Called Mastery. It was written a number of years ago. And he says that there are 4 basic types of people who approach a dream or a project or a goal. And the first one he calls a dabbler. And he says, now what a dabbler is you get excited about something new. Maybe you want to learn an instrument, or you want to start an exercise class, or you want to do something new, and you buy the equipment and you buy the clothes that go with it, and you're all excited and enthusiastic. And then, you know, you hit your first this is kind of boring, I don't know, and then you're done. And so the dabbler then drops something and picks something else up and starts over again, and then it's all exciting and I'm moving along with it, and maybe not that either. And, you know, and a dabbler can do the same thing with relationships, just kind of moving from one to another. He said the second kind of person is an obsessive, and that's more like a type A personality that wants everything right now and wants to achieve and be the best, but wants it to happen immediately and wants to soar the high heights and have these peak experiences constantly. And the truth is, we can't maintain at that level, or it's very difficult to. And then the third type of person is called a hacker. And he said a hacker aims low And the hacker may not give up their practice or their vocation or whatever it may be, but they just sort of show up for it, you know? There's no practice, there's no like, I think I'll take another class and learn more about this experience or this vocation or my love that I have. I'm just going to kind of, you know, pedal my way through it and just yawn through it and be like, yeah, I'll get through it. And then finally, he says the last path that we can take, or the last approach, not the last, but the most important approach, is that of mastery. Now, the thing about mastery is that to take the master's journey, you need to be willing to practice diligently. And that means, you know, fine-tuning your skills to attain new levels of competence. And he says, but while you're doing that, you need to be willing also to spend most of your time on a plateau, to keep practicing even when it seems like you're going nowhere. That ever happen to you? So you're practicing an instrument or an exercise or a sport or whatever it may be, and you're doing it, and sometimes it doesn't seem like we're improving at all. And he says the plateau is an important place for us to be, but it is that place where we may say to ourselves, well, I'm really not very good at this, so I think I'll quit and go do something else. But really the plateau is where we integrate the mastery. It's where we really fine-tune it. He says that practice, the path of mastery, it exists only in the present moment. And to love the plateau means that you love the eternal now. To enjoy the inevitable spurts of progress and the fruits of accomplishment, and then serenely to accept the new plateau that waits just beyond it. To love the plateau is to love what is most essential and enduring in life. Yeah? And yet we live in a society where that's not necessarily touted, is it? I mean, what's so exciting about the plateau? Do we see commercials about plateaus? No. And we live in a society where, like, you can lose weight in 12 minutes a week, you know? Or, you know, you can achieve enlightenment in, 24 days or less. There was a video that used to be on YouTube for a while about, it was a spoof on meditation and retreat, and there was this, high-powered guy who was at a meditation, Vipassana retreat, and he's on the phone checking in with somebody, and he says, those 45-minute meditations, I do it in 10. I nailed it. And that's kind of our consciousness, isn't it? You know, we watch our commercials and you drink a certain beer and hey, you get the chicks or whatever. And, it's like you brush your teeth with something else and voila, it's like automatic. We watch TV programs that the solution is provided in 30 minutes or 60. Murders are solved in 60 minutes. And so we're not comfortable living in the plateau. In fact, sometimes we may be embarrassed by it and say, I keep doing the same thing over and over again, and sometimes it doesn't feel like I'm getting anywhere. But that is what makes a master. That is the path of a master, is being willing to be comfortable with the plateau, to stay with it, and then know that you'll improve, but it may not be like it is on the TV shows. It may not be like it is instantaneous as we would like to have it in our society. So I've asked you to tell me your stories and your dreams and to share those with me so that I can share them with the whole community, because I think it's important that we see and hear each other. So I want to share the story today from Chris Harper, and I want to share with you his dream was to become a Little League baseball umpire who was thoroughly knowledgeable in the rules and who is calm-hearted. Have you ever seen a calm-hearted umpire? Not really. Now, the thing about a dream that we talked about is that a dream needs to push us beyond our comfort zone. And so what Chris did in picking this dream to be a Little League baseball umpire, he said that sometimes it's difficult for him to make decisions. And he likes to do, there's Chris. And Chris, they're right there if you want to wave your hand. Everybody knows where Chris is. He said that he usually likes to do a lot of research and make sure there are no uncertainties. And he's also said that he's prone to avoiding situation that requires him to make a judgment. Well, umpiring is all about making a judgment, right? You're making the call, you say what it is, and it doesn't even matter if that's not even what it is. You said it is, so that's the way it is. So it's a big stretch. And he said there's a big difference between sitting out in the stands, you know, and you're watching the game and you have your opinion about what just happened and how it should be. And then when you're down on the field and you're having to call it and you're having to do it yourself, not so easy necessarily. He also learned that in being calm-hearted toward other people, that he also needed to learn to turn that calm-heartedness, that loving kindness to himself as well. He says, I have umpired about 25 games, including tournament and championship games. And baseball is the greatest game ever created, and to see it played from as close as I get is a great thrill. What was the first step in mastery? Love what you do. Love what you do. Be committed to it. And he said that once he signed up to volunteer, he knew he had to show up and he knew he had to be there. So he was committed to it and practiced it and is having fun with it. He says, I'm a big believer in the good that Little League Baseball does for kids and all who participate in it. To contribute to something good and greater than the sum of its part is an awesome feeling. So Chris, thank you for sharing your story. And just like we all have, which is the belief is, am I good enough? The question he had was, am I really qualified to officiate at a game? But you know what? Once you sign up, you're committed. You need to show up, and you need to do it, and it's there. The knowledge is there. So another piece in mastery, I believe, is the ability to have fun. And I flew Southwest Airlines to Chicago. I normally do because it flies into Midway. And I don't know if you've flown Southwest lately, but they're very funny. You know, it's like their whole thing is about trying to make flying fun. And believe me, flying is not fun, right? It's either boring or it's terrifying. It's one of the two, but it isn't fun. And our flight attendant flying out to Chicago said, okay, so we have a very special person on board today. He is celebrating his birthday. And I just wanted you to know that he is 100 years old. And this is his first flight. So I want you all to join and wish the pilot happy birthday.